huh?
I can yes and amen that. You need to. I'm shocked that I had never heard of this guy. I watched that video the first time and I ugly cried.
What do you think about that, huh?
I mean, it's got my wheels turning and
What do you think about that, huh?
That's the Jesus that Mormons believe in. Dallas Jenkins. Is that the Jesus that you presented in this TV series?
What do you think about that, huh?
Phenomenal album, Irons in the Fire, Zeta Blacksmith.
What do you think about that, huh?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unsolicited, episode 70. I'm your host, Norm, the Master's Dog Dunham, aka the Evangelical Norm. Unsolicited is just that. It is my unsolicited opinion on arts and entertainment as it intersects with a Christian worldview, books, movies, TV shows, mostly music. That's kind of the world that I live in. I don't watch and read as much as I would like to, but I've always got some music going on that I'm listening to, new stuff. Christian hip-hop is my thing, so that's what you're going to see more often than anything here. I'm always willing to take requests, so if there's something like a TV show that somehow intersects with the Christian worldview, I'm willing to take a look at it and throw it out there, let you know what I think. So give me those, leave any requests you might have in the comments. You can hit me up on Twitter at the Master's Dog or the Evangelical Norm Dunham over on YouTube, anywhere where you have any kind of suggestions, something you'd like me to review, and I will take a look at it and I will put it out there. Sometimes this is solicited. I have had guys that have come to me and said, hey, will you take a look at my stuff and tell us what you think? If that happens, I'm going to be honest. If I don't like it, I'm going to let you know, and I'm going to try to be as constructive as possible. Usually, I'm just going to give you stuff that I really like. So, yeah, it's biased, but you know what? It's my channel. I can be what I want to be, right? I don't often throw out stuff. If I come across something that I just don't like, if I don't think it's good, if I don't think it's biblical, I'm not all about dragging people through the mud just to drag people through the mud. Now, issues like, I know we've all probably seen it at this point, the fanatic, Brady Goodwin, putting out his video saying he has stepped back from the faith. He's no longer a professing Christian. Things like that. I'm not going to deal with that here. I might look at that over on the Master's Dog podcast, stuff like that. Eshawn Burgundy, same situation. I'll mention them, but I'm not going to just rip through them on an unsolicited episode. This is really me finding stuff that I like and recommending it to you, telling you why I like it, what it is, and so on, so you guys can take a look at it, and hopefully you'll like it too. But like I said, somebody comes to me and says, hey, will you listen to my stuff? I'll give you my honest opinion. If I don't think it's good, I will let you know that this is why I don't think it's good or whatever. But for the most part, we stay positive here, kind of like K-Love. No, nothing like K-Love, please. No, but I just like to find stuff that I like and commend it to you guys so you guys can check it out as well. And today we are going to jump in. It has been almost a little over a month, actually just a month and what's today, the 23rd? So we're looking at 1 month and 6 days since this album was released. We are going to take a look at Serial Killer Smile and Pictures from my man Curt Kennedy. So one of my top 5. This is not the greatest picture of Curt. It's actually just kind of pixelated. Let's see. Let's throw up the next one. There's no good pictures of Curt on the internet. Let me just tell you that. Curt, you got to get the album is called Serial Killers Smile in Pictures. Can we not get some Christian rap artists that smile in pictures? You'll be lucky to find a picture of Curt on the internet where my man is smiling. So Curt, smile, dude. You take a selfie, man. No, okay. Curt don't do selfies. We know Curt don't do selfies. So, but he is a Washington fan, and they're getting a new name. We're gonna hopefully find that out soon. I'm with you, Curt. I think they just keep football team. They're not gonna do it. But I'm like, you've had it for 2 years, and you kind of caved to that pressure to do it. So just keep it. But they're not going to. If I do have a choice on the Washington name, I am for the Red Tails, just based on the history behind it. If you don't know the history behind it, go look it up. Tuskegee Airmen, check them out. But we are going to take a look at this album. So this is Curt's 14th album, I believe, because if I remember right, Reporting Live was his 13th album released on his son's 13th birthday. And so this would be number 14th studio album from Curt under one of his different monikers, whether it was The Voice, whether it was a Frustrated Christian, 14th album. And again, I've listened to most of them. I've been able to go back and find. I don't think I found every single one. I don't think I know where to get them. Curt, shoot me those things, I'll listen to them. But I have the majority of them over on Bandcamp and stuff. I think I have at least 9 of Curt's albums, and every one of them. I mean, and there's a reason why this man is in my top 5. All right, because it's just like album after album after album that he does is just crazy that he can just continue to move. That here's the thing, Christian rap is you get guys, you buy a Shai Linne album, you can almost be guaranteed you know what you're going to get from the minute you press play. It's going to be, Attributes of God is very much like Stories, is very much like Lyrical Theology. No, it's not. No, I'm losing the... What are the albums that he did? He did he's got a volume 3 coming out, and it's not Lyrical Theology something, but he did Sociology, Theology, Doxology, and then the next one I believe is supposed to be Sociology or something along those lines. But you know what you're going to get when you listen to, I don't know, I'm trying to come up with different guys that I mean, they're good, but they've got a niche kind of sound that they do. Curt is different. I mean, you go from albums 8 years ago to 5 years ago or 4 years ago with C4, and then 3 years ago with the Appendix, and then last year with Philosophy and Reporting Live and so on. I mean, Curt will not be put in a box. And that's a good thing. I mean, even on this album, there's just the different songs that are there that come out. I mean, there's at least 5 different styles of delivery on here in different albums that are just again, this is the talent that this man has, that he can, and just the imaginative stuff that goes into. I mean, it's why I'll never be one. I don't have the ability to spit like some of these guys do. I don't have the ability to write like some of these guys do. But I do not have the imagination that to come up with. I mean, the songs that are on this album, and again, as I understand it from listening to Curt and podcasts and stuff like this was initially intended. This was not supposed to be an albu-mentary like C4 was and like Appendix was and Philosophy and so on. Curt just was going to go, you know what, I'm just going to make some fun, entertaining music, right? Just to put it out there for people to listen to. This is not going to go super deep. But then again, look at the topic that hit, right? And it's he's talking about in here just the fascination that we have specifically as Americans with like violence and so on. The video we watched the other day, I'm actually going to watch it again on this. I did a review of the video when it first came out, and I kind of got caught up in one aspect of it, and I didn't give it its props that it really needs. I did not give enough accolades to Dan Miller for putting this video together, which it just visually, everything in here. Dan Miller is awesome. So props to you for the video. We're going to watch it again, maybe get into something else, but I kind of got caught in one little bit of one bar, and just took up the entire video that I did responding to that. So we'll talk a little more about it, but we're going to listen to a couple of the other songs on here. So this is, again, Serial Killer Smiling Pictures. Kind of gives you the idea of what this is about. It went into, but it became an albu-mentary, is what the point I was trying to get to. But, rabbit trail. Look, squirrel. I suffer from ADOS, attention deficit. Ooh, shiny. So, but the songs that are on here, there are 18 tracks on this album, starting with Akeem, which if you know, you know. I'm actually not going to play that, so you're going to have to buy the album and listen. Or if this one is actually streaming. This is another thing that Curt did with this album that he generally does not do with most of his albums. And I am a proponent of his usual way of releasing albums. He doesn't release it immediately to streaming. It is, you want the album, you buy the album. It's like we used to do. I mean, when I was a kid, I actually texted Curt and asked him, like, I want liner notes. This is what I miss from CDs. I miss liner notes. Do I have a CD sitting around here that has some liner notes in it? No, they're all somewhere else. But liner notes, where you can open it up, where you can look, where you can go, oh, look, these are the people that are featured, and this is the people who produced it, and these who... You don't get that with downloads anymore, and I miss that, because as a guy who likes to talk about the albums, that I like to know a little information. So I actually said, I was like, okay, I know all the guys pretty much that are in Family Affair, Christ-centric. These are the guys that are featured there, but there are some girls on here, and I was pretty sure that I knew Samantha White was on one of the songs, but I didn't know who the other girl was. So he sent me back and said, these are the people who are featured on here. So Samantha White is on The Rug, track number 14. She's featured on there. Alex Christian was on Vicarious Sections. So that was another one. Female, there's something, I don't know. Judge me if you want. I love female rappers, and I always have. I mean, my favorite rappers from way back, Latifah, MC Light, The Brat, Left Eye from TLC. I mean, there's an absolute beauty to the female voice, and then just to get that over a beat and spitting bars the way I love it. So I am absolutely, Sam, if you're watching this, and Alex, I don't know if I would love to see albums from these people. From both of you. I know that I took a look at Sam's last album, the Treasure Hunt Volume 1. Looking forward to a Volume 2. So, but these are people, and then of course Family Affair, you got all the guys from Christ-centric, and Curt mentions them in there, Vince Cooley, Will Mendoza, Lou Ciccone, Chris Jones, of course Stract, who has a new album coming out soon too. Chris Jones has got a couple albums that just came out. The Apologist, Will Mendoza's got some stuff. Hoping to see some new stuff from both. Vince Cooley, who just had a baby, so we probably ain't going to see nothing from him for a while, but enjoy that beautiful little girl. Congratulations, brother, and hoping to see new stuff from Lou Ciccone. So all these people that are featured on this album. Will Mendoza just got married. Congratulations, brother, on that. I saw a picture of them. I was going to download it, of all the guys that were in the wedding, Stract, and I looked at it. Zeta Blacksmith is in there, and I was like, I looked at that picture and immediately started singing, "This is a family affair." So yeah, if you know, you know. We'll probably play a clip of that here in a little bit. But so these are the songs that are on here. My favorites, Natural Born Killers. We're going to look at the the video for that. Dire Ride was really good. Dire Ride took me back to like mid 90s hip hop. I mean, it was just like maybe even late 90s hip hop, more as as DMX was coming up and stuff like that. Just the style of the song and stuff kind of took me back to that, because I mean, those are my days. Punisher. So here's a funny story about Punisher, and we'll talk about that. I'm actually going to play a clip of that here in just a sec. But for those who don't know what I do for an actual living, I wish I could say I was a podcaster and made my money off of that. But I work as a supervisor for a sanitation crew for a vegetable packing plant. Yeah, it's glamorous. And right now we're like seriously short people, so I don't get to be a supervisor. I get to actually be the guy that's out there spraying water on these things, washing these machines down. So your vegetables come to you without any kind of bacteria, because we make sure those things are clean. And so I'll put my headphones in, I'll listen to music, and I put my phone in my pocket, and then I'm in rain gear. I'm soaking wet the entire night, so I can't get my phone out. Somehow I set, instead of repeat for the whole album, I set it on the song number 4, the song number 4, Punisher, and repeated that all night, like 3.5 hours in a row of that song. And I'm gonna play it for you, so you can get a little bit of an idea of what I went through that night, and we'll talk about it in a minute. But here is a little bit of Punisher. Curt Kennedy, smiling serial killer, smile in pictures. Maybe. Oh, there we go. My bad. Got to turn that volume up.
For the blood. For the love. What if God forgave the way that you did and was offended at every tweet like you easily is? Excuse me, it's bars, sue me, pulling some cars, make people angry unless it's a magic show. Voila, abracadabra, but Abra will make us all a cadaver. And if we're judged by our love, where you headed for after? I let that hesitate to give a second so everybody can meditate. I know that we thinking it's gravy, but without the dinner plate. But the sinner's fate is a fire that won't disintegrate. And who is the sinner? The winner's whoever you imitate. Not only your doctrine, but does your inner love assimilate? Intimate relationship with Jesus that you intimate. And people that know you the best will answer yes as life and doctrine integrate. I'm in the sovereignty, never really been in the faith. And if the Bible's true, our love is key to the pearly gates. I don't wanna play with Jesus no more. Yeah, I'm a Christian, but I judge a lot. The wrath that he poured on Christ, he got more in store. For the blood, we need the blood. I don't wanna play with Jesus no more. Honestly checking if I love a lot. The wrath that he poured on Christ is why I'm secure. But I have to love.
All right, so now. So there's a bit, there's a taste of what that is. So again, I mean, if you're listening to this song, and I've made these comments about Curt's albums in the past. There is some conviction that comes in out of some of the songs that he does. You love the album, but you're coming away with a black eye. Now, when you play this song over and over and over, and you hear it nonstop, right, for 3.5 hours. This becomes more like this, all right? You still love it. It's still a great song, but you kind of come out of there beat up. And he actually mentions it at the end. He's like, we hurting some people on this one. He's talking to Will Mendoza. He says, we hurting some people on this one. He says, I took a little bit of a jab too. Here's the deal. Here's the thing. I think, and I appreciate, and now I don't always agree. I mean, I am not a Curt Kennedy slappy. I'm not just joining in and agreeing in absolute agreement with everything Curt says, right? I mean, we are two different people. We have two different opinions. I agree with a lot, and I appreciate everything that he says. I respect everything he says. But I like to have music that challenges me. I like to have some of this stuff. I mean, if I just wanted stuff that I agreed with, I would have to write my own stuff. I would have to write and spit and do and be horrible, and somebody would do a video about me, and it would just be, this guy is absolutely garbage. But I like that. I really do, to where, and I mean, you can call a lot of what I do online, podcast-wise, discernment ministry stuff. I do the Master's Dog, where I talk about Mormonism and false teachings and stuff, and I do a False Teacher of the Week video every week and talk about different false teachers. And some of that can fall into what he's talking about here. Am I too judgmental? Am I not loving enough? Am I Jesus said, if you're angry with your brother, if you hate your brother without reason, you're guilty of murder. This is kind of one of the veins that he goes into on this album, where it became an albu-mentary, because he's like, we have this fascination with serial killers, but even in the Christian world, are we spiritual serial killers? Are we hating our brother, what Jesus calls murder in the heart? And are we not? So, I mean, I really appreciate this, because it causes me to come back and go, am I doing this? Am I in this place? Should I be repenting of something that I've done? Or am I in a place where I feel like I'm still within the parameters of God's word, and I'm whether it's righteous anger or, warning the brethren about wolves within the flock? Right? Those things are not bad. It's not bad to do that. But again, I hear this song and I think of, the beef that went on between Curt and A.D. Robles a while back. And again, go back and watch some of Curt's old videos and see the amazing reconciliation and the amazing testimony to God's grace that came out of that. But I mean, there was some serious beef between these brothers, and then there was some serious reconciliation and some grace. I still don't care much I don't watch. I did for a while. I'm not a fan of A.D. Robles. I'm not a fan of the way, and I think there are some times that he falls into this Punisher category of this song, where I think he's judging too much. He's not loving enough. He's not willing to give any kind of benefit of a doubt or anything like that. So, again, this is why I love this song the way I love this song, because it challenges me. It forces me to step back and look at myself and go, what are you doing? Where are you at? And I mean, there's songs on the appendix. There are songs on C4, dealing with race and other things that force me to do the same thing. Right? To step back and go, am I too critical of this attitude, of this mindset, of these people, or anything like that? So this is what you get. Again, this is why you need to buy Curt Kennedy albums. And then let me know if you think I'm just out of my mind and I'm just like, Curt's, biggest fan and fanboying instead of challenging, right? So that's the first song I really liked and wanted you guys to get a piece of. Let's take a look. I'm gonna play the entirety of this, and we're getting a little long in the video, and then we're gonna wrap it up with Family Affair. But I'm gonna play the entirety of this video one more time, just so you can see it, because I really love it. And again, it's a great, and this is. Again, it's that whole thing of, we have this fascination with violence. And I've talked about this long before. I mean, I got into a big brouhaha on Facebook with some people because I challenged the Christian fascination with the movie or the series Dexter, which is literally about a serial killer, but he only kills bad people. So, we can celebrate the murderer. And so I've kind of had this attitude for years. Curt just kind of put it into an albu-mentary, and I was able to go yes and amen to a whole lot of it. So here is Natural Born Killers, Curt Kennedy, Serial Killers, Smile in Pictures. Uh-oh. I lost the picture. There we go.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Yeah, how you do that there? We're the princes of the kings, it's that new rap air. Curt can put in work like that toolbox there. Came from guns and cash in that shoebox air. Coming from the war zone, that's the United States. Celebrate, rape and pillage, what would you might take? On the backbone of Jesus who was bruised by grace. Fight the drama of this life like it's boom, yeah. We're on Zoom and everything we consume is making this day rehume. Reacting to whom and who might pray. We subsume philosophies and assume that everything will be cool and be the same like resuming resume. Headlines are showing that there's murder on the mind. Organ trafficking rings and things humanity designs. The occult sacrifices of babies you will find. Bestiality and many surrealities combined. We are natural born, natural born, natural born killers. Natural born, natural born, natural born killers. Natural born, natural born, natural born killers. Natural born, natural born.
We in the club like
Natural born, natural born, natural born killers. Natural born, natural born, natural born killers. Natural born, natural born, natural born killers. Natural born, natural born.
we in the club like
Yeah, how you missed that line? I was there at virgin birth, but abortion is fine. Water love is Squid Game, but in Chicago it's crime. How they care about the earth, but my people get lines. Police lines do not cross, they cross every time. Greatest country in the world, the greatest haters online. Why is vengeance such a virtue in a lot of our minds? Why is Batman a hero when he's violent at times? Cowboys and Indians, mafia is the synonym. Violence makes cake and we bind it like it's Intamins. Remember back when Drake was soft and rapping and singing in? Now it's mob ties and knife talk for Benjamins. Nah, it's synonym disguised as cinnamon. It's all fresh in blood like the devil ain't the synonym. Like he ain't the him and them. The him and them demonstrates the almighty him and them. But is it really him? Natural born, natural born, natural born killers. Natural born, natural born, natural born killers. Natural born, natural born, natural born killers. Natural born, natural born.
we in the club like
Natural born, natural born, natural born killers. Natural born, natural born, natural born killers. Natural born, natural born, natural born killers. Natural born, natural born.
we in the club like
Yeah, how they don't seem grim. How they never shot a gun, but are killers within. How they preach the word of life, but are dead in their sin. And how they eat their bread and wine, but then whine about them. They'll be weeping and gnashing and mourning of teeth. How the blood on the cross spill on Ferguson streets. How they hate being woke when they already sleep. And why do vaccines determine if your faith is deep or not? You got the shot, then you've lost your plot. A land in heaven's lot, but that's not what God commands. The 5th crusade, 11th plague you got to see. Took the green pill, red and blue, it's not for me. Who shot you? No biggie, that's what y'all can see. Killing we softly is not what it ought to be. Killing we softly is not what it ought to be. We all got CWWJD.
And we'll leave it at that. So yeah, serial killers, smiling pictures, natural born killers. I could probably take every bar out of that and do a 15-minute episode of something on there. Just so many profound things, and I've listened to that 50 times or more, and still kind of got with different things. You know, the whole issue of, you know, how they take the bread and the wine and then whine about them, right? I mean, so many just jabs throughout this song, but truly they're there. I mean, he's not just doing this because he wants to take jabs at people. I mean, there's a point. You know, we have an unnatural fascination with violence in this country. We have an unnatural fascination with, I mean, again, it starts out, I didn't get it in here because I had the wrong button pushed, but we have 5% of the world's population. We have had 67% of the serial killer activity throughout the world in America. And so again, even as those within the church, there's a fascination. Like I said, I've talked to Christians about who love the show Dexter, and I'm like, how can you? You know, I first noticed it with a movie called Payback with Mel Gibson, where he's a criminal, and he got, you know, he and a guy robbed some people for some money for like his half was $170,000 of $240,000 or $347. I don't know, but it was a small amount of money that when he He was shot and he recovered. He came back to get revenge, to get his half of the stolen money back. And the entire movie you're watching, you're rooting for, and I realized towards the end, I'm rooting for the bad guy. I'm literally watching this violent movie, and it's violent. The things that happen throughout the movie, I don't recommend it. As he goes on, so we have that unnatural fascination with violence in this country, and does that, and it gets into that in this album. So as you go through, you get down into vicarious sections, crazy, sexy, cool, talking about serial killers. How he talks about it's crazy, sexy, cool to worship a thug, right? And being women who are sending letters and love letters and naked pictures to these serial killers who murder women. Right? I mean, it just the things that happen, and there's Joe Rogan going, it's really weird. A clip of a podcast of Joe Rogan. So as we move through, again, we talked about Punisher played part of that. Dire Ride, just the beat and the way of the delivery. Like I said, check it out. Go. You can stream this one. It's out there for streaming. I'll jump on my soapbox here in a minute, but I want to play a little bit of my favorite song on this album, and it's just because I love everybody over at Christ Centric. I love every one of these brothers, and so on. So Family Affair, this is all kinds of guys: Lou Ciccone, Vince Cooley, Stract, Chris Jones, Curt Kennedy, Christ Centric represent on Family Affair. Check it out. My favorite song on the album.
I'ma live by the blood, die by the blood, made it live with the blood. I'ma rise with the blood. Though we died for the blood, Christ's life's in the blood. And he saw this beforehand, healed my eyes with the mud. God made us from the dust, where he spit in the dirt. Then the ground drank blood, and in a sense, it was worse. Since his blood was more than able, Christ was sent to the earth. Now there's no more bad blood since his death, it reversed. So I have no complaints, I'm living with blessed hope. I'm seated with heaven's hopes, headed to heaven's door. I'm trying to take a couple with me, that's why I extend the rope. Invite them into the boat, spirit lead us to the show. Until we die, by his word remaining calm, no alarm. Staying anchored in the truth, so the storm cannot harm. We got the family ahead, man, it's a family affair. And we all dress the same way, so no frauds.
It's so mysterious, the theories I'm hearing are so nefarious, and they make me so furious. I'm fast to crash, they ask me why so serious. You jokers, what you trying to provoke us? I open up the vocals, call the soldiers, and show up with more blood brothers than Joseph. Jesus is hemoglobin, never potent. It's washing away the sin I chose like tears up in the ocean. Every eye quick to focus when the sky splits and opens. It's like a tornado twist the vortex, leave your fortress broken. Peeping the works of darkness and expose it. Give me the light. Sean Paul, regenerate tight. John and Paul, you getting it right. It ain't a winning unless we in it to imitate Christ. Been on the bench for a minute, no CPR, but now I'm feeling revived. Trying to get a PER high, release of the peak, the arc of the shot. When it's propelled by the spirit, will make it impossible for any demons to block. We in the war, we need to watch. Ain't no time for no second guessing. My declaration of independence, the resurrection.
It's a family affair. It's a family affair. I got my family that cares. So rip the mic if you dare.
Yo, hold on. I gotta get my ski mask right. First listen, I was like, this that ski mask type. So hyped to right, there was a fight to get to sleep last night. And staring heavy at the waves gave me seatbelt sight. But I can't see past right, so I'm circling the hook. Look, you can see the scale shook, balancing the rails. Took you to tell tales, though the bars is straight. And the message is the same, still to you the mail fails. And the scars is fake, you Pacino, but this is real white. I'm no longer Cochino, Vecino. I'm in the living water and I'm jumping like Marino. Sipping Pellegrino and some vino, playing on the Guido. Though that ain't really my stilo, I'ma do it smooth criminal. Moonwalking subliminal, mask off was minimal. You caught me on an interval, his enemies formidable. Smiling at the tomb while they cutting the umbilical.
It's a family affair. It's a family affair.
All right. So I'm going to wrap this up. We've gone 35 minutes, so I'm going to... I just can't. I gotta let it go. I gotta let it go.
Avoiding entanglements like Jada Pinkett Smith. When family get together, it's Chef Ramsay on the weekend. Grilling up these beats, no beef, but we ain't vegan. Like pescatarian cats in the net, then we reach in. Sinners disease, men and deceive them, so we preaching. We try to rhyme with no regrets. Pray to God we don't regress. Disciples make disciples, a domino effect. We won't lie for your respect. This ain't time to digress. It's blind leading the blind, and Satan's out here vying for your neck. United we stand, divided, nah, that ain't an option. We staying ready for the toss like we running options. We prayed up, no empty words, cause this ain't no auction. Brothers banded by the blood of Christ, chosen for adoption.
I'm a product of the problem of watching people get shot up when you only 9, but know what they mean when they say narcotics. When your childhood makes you not want your child to get caught up, you was Splash Brothers.
Right. The DJ in me says you don't step on other people's lyrics, but I got to wrap this up. But I want to let this just keep playing because it's so good. My favorite song here, man. Go check this out. Go buy it. Go buy the album. You can stream this if you want to stream it. You can go. It's available everywhere. But again, I'm going to tell you, go over to Bandcamp, look up Curt Kennedy, Serial Killer, Smile and Pictures, buy the album. Spend a couple of bucks. $10 I think is what I paid for it. Maybe $12 I paid for the album. Support our brothers who are making lyrical theology, making these albu-mentaries, making this amazing music to glorify God and give us stuff that we love to hear, that is uplifting, edifying, convicting at times, just quality music. So go buy the album. Go buy it. Go spend some money. Support our brother so he can continue to put out music like this and share his gift that God has given him with us. So go pay for the album. Buy the album. Serial Killers, Smile and Pictures. Curt, man. So yeah, it's over. Now I can concentrate on what I'm doing. I love this album. I do. I mean, this is easily, Curt's in my top 5 of artists. This album easily jumped up into my top 5 favorite albums of all time. So, it's up there with at least one other of his albums. With C4 is another one that is absolutely no question about being in my top 5. So, once again, go buy the album. Go check it out. Serial Killer, Smile and Pictures, available on Bandcamp, Amazon, Google Play, wherever it is, wherever you want to stream it. If you're going to stream it, please don't stream it. Don't do it. Put your money behind these guys who are making this music, and support them so they can continue to make more and more of this music. So Bandcamp is always my recommendation, because at Bandcamp you can leave a tip. You don't have to just pay what the asking price is. You go buy a meal and you enjoy the meal. You leave a tip. You like the service. This album is well worth a 20% tip, 25% tip, because the I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Just the talent, the beats, the lyrics, everything that goes in, the variety of delivery styles, of beat styles, everything. I mean, this is a smorgasbord. Yep, I use that word. And of music. It is Chuckarama. It is a buffet. You get anything you like, you can get it here in this album. Even a little bit of conviction for your sin. So go buy it. It is my brother Curt Kennedy, Serial Killer, Smile and Pictures. I've said that 1,000 times. Pick it up. You will not regret having this album. If it's not one of your favorite albums of the year, what's wrong with you? That's all I can say. You're wrong. Why are you wrong? If this is not one of your favorite albums of the year, you're just wrong, and that's coming from me. And you can leave the comments below, and I'll take all that smoke. So thanks again, guys, for paying attention. Subscribe, like, share, do all that stuff. Let's see if we can get the Evangelical Norm channel up to 300 subscribers in the next month. And go over to Curt Kennedy's Corner on YouTube and subscribe there and see if we can't get them up to 300 in the next month as well, because they're not far behind me and they're coming up, and I know they're going to go way past me. So go subscribe. You can get Cross Examine podcast. You can watch it live when they record it over at Curt Kennedy's Corner on YouTube. Go check it out. As always, preach the gospel at all times. Use words. They're necessary. And until next time, Soli Deo Gloria.